Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, or welcome if you're new. My name is Jules, and on this channel I like to share with you everything that I do that is creative, and today I want to try something a bit different. So recently I've been collecting flowers, and I've been making pressed flowers, which is something I used to do when I was younger but kind of got out of the habit of doing over the years. But I thought it might be fun this year to start collecting flowers and making a bit of a pressed flower journal, if you like. And so I want to share with you a couple of the things that I've done so far. So I started this notebook upside down, but that's how it is now, I guess. So I have a couple of pages done so far, like this. So the idea is that I glue in the flowers that I've pressed, and then maybe do some like little illustration studies on the opposite page. So here's a bit of a closer view of those pictures that I've drawn based on these pressed flowers that I have made. And then there was also a second page that I did with these sort of more long stemmed flowers and this cute little guy. And then I did some pencil studies as well. And so I was thinking I might do some more pencil studies, but maybe we could do a spread like this together. You know, I'll start out by sticking some of my pressed flowers onto this page. We can pick them together, and then I will draw them on the other side. So I'm going to go and grab my tape, this washi tape I've been using to stick the flowers in, and I'll be right back. So I've been keeping my pressed flowers in this sort of Tupperware-esque container. And as you can see, I've got a lot of options here. I haven't done any of these yellow flowers yet that I have tucked under here. So I think I might pick out some of those, and we can choose those to draw today. They also have these like really nice leaves that look, look very interesting in shape. I think it could be fun to do some studies of that. So yeah, why don't we get one that's like side on, and I really got to come up with a better way to store these because this is suboptimal. One that's like this, so we can see the center a little bit better. So I don't just use this, so I have this very fine white washi tape from MT that I've been using, but also I use some glue because some of these have very fine points that need sticking that you don't get otherwise. It's got a hair attached to it. And yeah, let's have a look and see what else we have in here. It's a little bit messy. Could do with some better organization, I won't deny that. This one's got quite a lot of leaves on it. This one is truly like a side profile. I quite like the true side profile. And then maybe another one because an odd number is good. Odd numbers always make for like a nice visual layout, don't they? Let me have a quick look. Something else. See, this one's quite good because it's got some more of the leaves attached. They're not quite dry, actually. Should probably press that longer, but it will make an interesting shape. Great, so I'll put the rest to the side, and we can start sticking these down. So I guess I will sort of make a nice layout. So I think it would be fun to have this guy in the middle. A bit like we have on this page, actually. I'll just lay it out again. So we've got a bit of a variety of shapes, and maybe we could even turn this over. I always forget these things have two sides. Which one's better? I don't think I have a preference. This way makes for a little bit better of a composition, I think. Just get a flower tip. It's a little bit fiddly with these tiny flowers in my big clumsy human hands. There we go. So I guess I'll lay out a little bit like this, and then we can draw. We don't have to draw all of them, obviously, but just a few little studies, I suppose. Because pressing flowers is a great way to get a feeling for their structure, since when they're pressed, you can really see in like a two-dimensional format the shapes that form with the petals overlapping each other and things like that, which I find quite beautiful and unusual, you know, when you see, it's nice to draw 3D forms, but when you get the opportunity to really distill that down to its essence, that is always interesting too. Just check out my frame. So this is just really like a bit of fun, cutting and sticking, I guess. Though those two phases of the project are a little bit far apart when you press flowers, because you need to wait for like a week or so for the flowers to dry. So in scenarios like this where I have one with 2 stems, I'm going to try and like thread the tape through the gap if I can. Kind of hard because the tape is sticky, obviously. So I can still see the other stem. Yep. So like this. So when I stick it down, we get a feeling still for what the other stem is doing. And this one actually has a stem, it got a bit folded, so we can unfold that and stick it down. I got 2 thicknesses of this washi tape in preparation for this project. And I've only really used this thin one yet so far. I guess maybe I'll incorporate a thicker one if I have some bigger flowers at some point in the future. And so for this one, I think I'll just use glue, and I'll show you my favourite glue for this kind of work in a second. But for now, let's just get this. Yeah, sounds good. And I think the tape adds something, really. So yeah, so the glue that I like to use for these is this Tombow Mono liquid glue. It's water-based, but I really like this applicator because it comes in a bottle with a tip like this, so you can use it for gluing down larger pieces of paper. And then it also comes with this super tiny nozzle, so you can really accurately place the glue like behind tiny things like this. So sometimes I'll like lever it up a little bit, so they're still a little bit flexible, which is nice. And then put the glue and then let it fall back in its sort of natural position. And if the glue seeps out a little bit, it's not the end of the world because it dries clear. So yeah, won't be a problem in the long run. Glue that leaf down as well. You can even like, you know, push them around within reason to make a more visually pleasing layout, though usually it's best if you stick relatively close to the structure that they had to begin with, just because otherwise you can bend them and stuff. This one definitely feels a little less dry than the others, but I'm a little bit of a beginner when it comes to pressing flowers still. I mean, I did it a little bit when I was younger, but I haven't done it in a long time. I'm just gonna use a paintbrush here. Modern problems require modern solutions. There we go. So with the glue, I can kind of unfold the petals so we can see a little bit clearer what's going on. That's good. And this glue is really the first glue in a while that I've used where I don't get it like all over my fingers. When I want to glue something fiddly like this, I only get a little bit on my fingers, which is, you know, just a occupational hazard. Okay, let's try and glue this one. It's going to be a bit tough, I think. But at least with this one I can turn it all the way over. Okay, so I think that this is pretty good. I mean, I can always apply a little bit more glue later if I think it needs it, but for now These are a pretty nice layout to me. I think I enjoy how they're looking. It's always nice to take things out of the, you know, random pot of stuff and put them on a page and give them their own space to shine. Okay, so we're trying the clip method. Oh, so I think I'm going to start with, I've got a few pencils. I have a regular Faber-Castell 9000 it's an F hardness lead, which is my favourite for sketching or things where I want to be able to erase it later. And then I have two Pitt Graphite matte pencils, so these are graphite that is slightly less reflective than usual, and I thought I would experiment with those today. And I have a 2B and a 14B, so hopefully you can get some really dark marks, which is and not the Harry Potter kind. Wow, that was a deep reference, don't know where that came from. So on the day that I'm filming this, I just got back from quite a long walk, and I went on a walk with a new friend, and anyone who is over the age of 25 will know how hard it can be to make new friends. But I just went on like a 2.5 hour hike with this, with this guy who I met at a gathering, I guess, via a friend of a friend, as most people meet people when you're an adult. And it's so difficult to make friends. I just, you know, I'm a sociable person. I'm a bit of an extrovert, and currently I'm friends with a lot of people who are students who will be moving away soon, or who are, you know, finishing up their work that they're doing here now. And so I've been really, you know, since COVID is now a little bit less of a thing, touch wood, I've been trying to make a bit more of an active effort to make friends with people, but oh my goodness. It's such an emotionally draining affair. You know, I was so anxious this morning before meeting this person to go for a walk, because I just had no idea what to expect. I mean, I met them one time before, you know. But it was really nice, and so today I'm in a good mood. I'm quite proud of myself for that one. I think we need we need more ways to find people to make friends with as grown-ups. So I'm just drawing the basic outline, So I'm just drawing the basic outline of this shape. I've sort of mirrored this one here, and I'm drawing it over on this side. Try and keep it in focus, so my camera's being a bit fussy today. So this flower here has all sorts of interesting texture in the middle, so I think I'm going to draw it kind of big, like really blow it up to explore the shapes. I recently started taking a course on Domestika. I sort of have a tendency to buy Domestika courses and then not do them. You know, I know I'm not the only one with that issue. I know I've spoken with April, who's a Monkey Mintaka on social media, who has a similar issue, but the one I took recently is by this guy, this artist who focuses a lot on drawing creatures, like developing character designs based on natural shapes. And I took it because of partially this project that I have, where with my pressed flower journal, I'm thinking about what I might use this for, or what ideas it could spark. I don't do a lot of character design, but I feel like this is the sort of place where I could potentially find some designs. I mean, I always liked, growing up, I had those Flower Fairies books. I don't know if anybody else had those. They were very whimsical, very cute designs based on flowers, obviously. I absolutely loved those, but I never really got into drawing like faces or people, but maybe I could do something a little bit more abstract, you never know. I'm just sort of trying to find out what kind of art I like making, really. One of the questions on the course was like asking you why you make art. I'm like, I don't know. Just seems like a good way to use my time, I guess. Should probably think about that a bit more, honestly. But for now, I guess I'm just gonna keep making art and it will all be fine. So I'm gonna get the basic outline of all of these and I'm gonna go back and do the detail on them. Maybe I will zoom you in a little bit more for the detail. And finally, I think I'm going to do this little one here, but a bit bigger. I'm going to try and keep it at the same, like a bit bigger scale, because so much detail. It's just capturing all these folded up petals. But yeah, I bought a couple of Domestica courses recently, just trying to get myself out of a bit of a creative rut, you know. Sometimes it's nice to have somebody give you an exercise to do, to introduce you to a new way of maybe thinking about creating and find a different avenue to go with your art. I don't know. It can be hard, you know. We only have so much energy, right? Especially people who don't do art as a career, for better or for worse. Like it's hard to find new ways to expand our horizons. So when Domestica have a good sort of sale on, I can highly recommend it. See, you can see the effect of me warming up as well, because I really love this one and I don't like this one much at all. But that's okay. They can't all be winners. So I'm going to go in next with the 2B pencil and then the 14B if I want to, and add just like more texture and shading and outlines and stuff to make them a little bit less sketchy. Okay, so just going to start with this one, since it's kind of the it's the test drive for all of these techniques apparently. And we're kind of worried about smudging this, but I guess we'll cross the bridge when we come to it. And just try and incorporate some smooth, natural looking lines. Easier said than done, huh? Sometimes I like to leave like little breaks in my lines, but try and keep the overall pattern kind of flowing. Try and not make things too symmetrical. And then I guess I'll try with the 14B since we're experimenting. Now I add these lines. So this isn't quite in focus, but you can see the lines on the petals here. Well, this is so much softer. The 2B feels quite hard compared to the 14B. Who'd have thought? And maybe we can include a little bit of the shading for the 14B. That's good. Yeah, I like the 14B for the darker parts, but I think I might like the 2B more for the lines. This is not a tutorial, in case that's not clear. I, as I say in my channel intro, have no idea what I'm doing, and I would never claim that I did, because that's not what this channel is about. This channel is about having a place and a reason to do creative things and share it with people and have good discussions. And especially for projects like this, you know, turning into something where maybe we can involve some fun colour projects and adventure into the natural world a little bit more, especially now it's springtime. Oh, that's where I was going to go with that story earlier about making friends. We were walking in the woods for like 2 hours. I saw so many things. The world is really coming alive. I'd like to thank you, Valerie, if you're in the comments, for replying to my last community post with that lovely poem. Really does feel very spring-like. Everything is growing. That's not bad. I quite like that. maybe a little low contrast. I could have gone either lighter on the lines or lighter on the stem. I'm not sure, but so for this one with the bigger flower, the petals don't have quite as much of the lines in, so maybe I won't emphasize the lines so much in this one. Got like a little stamens falling everywhere. So we'll pop this one in the center frame and have another go. That's the main thing, right? You've got to keep trying. And this time I'll focus more on these stamens, I think, in the center. Are these anthers? I think these are anthers. I think that the ones in the this is like a very tight ball of stamens. It looks like this. I really quite like this detail-oriented kind of work. I'm finding the shapes. I'm hoping that I can keep collecting plants and flowers as the summer progresses and maybe get a little bit more into the, you know, have like a nice collection for when there's not so many plants and flowers outside. Let's try if we use the 14B for this. Ooh, so much contrast. I haven't used these pencils enough. I bought them, you know, there was a little bit of hype surrounding them because of the mattness. And they are very successfully not shiny. Like a 14B matte pencil would be basically a mirror. A 14B normal pencil would be basically a mirror effect by the time you had that much graphite. But this one is very nice and black. Though I will say, I think if you're into black pencils, but you don't want to use a coloured pencil, then the Staedtler Mars Lumograph Black provide a really nice range of options for that. I also use those ones and I really enjoy them. So here we've placed really a lot of emphasis on these anthers. The anthers are on the end of the stamens, right? Again, Jules the biologist, not really understanding plant biology. But it's fun to draw these petal shapes. You can't really draw them wrong, you know? I mean, I'm using the pressed flowers as reference, but I'm not trying to do like photorealism or anything. See, we went a little bit off the line there. That's fine. Doesn't matter. And then maybe I'll just give like the faintest indication. I can even use my harder pencil, because I do like the idea of introducing these lines, because you can see them even when the flowers are fresh. I wonder what these look like under a microscope. I always find microscope images quite inspiring. My boyfriend bought me for my birthday a book of seeds, like pictures of, it's like an encyclopedia of seeds, various plants. I'm going to shade this in as well. But anyway, it's got like life-size photos of all the seeds of these, of so many different plants. And it's really quite interesting. And I think I might use it to like do some studies of seeds, because I think they have such a nice range of shapes. Just get some of these. No, my hand's shading it. It's hard to get good light. But I think that's pretty good. Just do a little bit more light shading in here. Amazing what a little bit of shading does. Okay, I think I'll stop there though. No, Jules, stop. Stop. When you compare it to this one, I think you can see where I was going. So I really love these shapes that I've been, like the radial shapes that I like, and I'm really quite impressed it managed to press like that as well. And then finally we have this one, which you can kind of see in the corner here. I'm not really sure how I'm going to approach this, because I think it might be fun to have like the leaves and the stems being really dark and then having the flower be super bright in comparison. So maybe I'll just go in with my 2B pencil and do the lines first, I guess. And then we leave ourselves open to flexibility. It's interesting the number of ways you can create depth in just a simple sketch, just using graphite. So you have to choose, you can either make the background or the focus, yeah, you can make the background darker or lighter depending on the effect that you want. Because then if you make it lighter, it makes it look sort of blurred. And if you make it darker, then it makes it look in shadow. But I definitely think I don't want to include quite as many details in the leaves, but I can see some veins on there. So maybe I'll just include like just a few lines, just an indication of where the veins go. And then do the same thing for the petals. I can actually see like a little sepal down here as well. Quite like that this flower got folded over on itself, because it means that there's another thing to add dimension when you have shapes that interact. And then a lot of these little wormy stamen thingies again. Yeah, I love that. This is a really fun shape. And I'll probably shade in there because this is like folded. Just include a few indications of the shape of the petal. Make them a bit curved to show that the petal's curving whichever way it's going. Let me know if you're drawing along, by the way. Let me know what you're drawing. I'd love to know. You can always tag me on Instagram. That'd be cool too. And I think I will, looking at this, I think I will make the leaves darker because I think it could do with some more contrast. Just in the mood, I guess, for dark leaves today. And I think that I would like to explore a little bit more the simplicity of like not involving so much, I mean, I know against the channel name, focusing on just shape and line without worrying so much about the color, and then incorporating the color later once you already have an idea of what the shape is going to be. I'd also like to do some more abstract watercolors. It's on my list because I love the idea of just, and I've done it before and enjoyed just like playing around with how the colors work together on the page and not thinking too much about representing something like I'm trying to do here. Oh. Yeah, I like how this is going. I think this is working out quite well, trying to leave the veins a little bit lighter in the leaves. Just a little bit of contrast. Yeah. Working as intended. Love when that happens. I've been all over the place today thinking it's Sunday because I had technical issues with my video last week and didn't manage to publish it on Sunday, so that's going up today, which is Monday. And then also it's a long weekend here, so today feels really like Sunday because I have to go back to work tomorrow, but I'm not working today, but it's Monday. And also I did all of the things I usually do on a Sunday today because my partner was here at the weekend. We had a great time at the 6 Hours of Spa, the World Endurance Championship event in Belgium. And then we went to the actual spa yesterday. We have some hot springs in the town where I live. And it's really super relaxing to go there and chill out after a long day of traveling and sitting in hard seats on grandstands and enduring a little bit of inclement weather. So 2 quite contrasting days for this long weekend. But then back to normal as of next week. So that's good. It'd be nice to have a routine for a little bit. But we've got so many long weekends in the next couple of months. I don't think we've got a full week of work for a really long time, actually. Who knows when stuff's going to get done? Maybe it doesn't have to. Great. Well, I think that this worked out quite well. You can get really dark with this 14B pencil, as you can tell. It's really, really, really dark. So I think I'll just like add a little bit more interest. Now I've got a bit more confidence with it, you know? It's kind of scary to put down these bold, dark marks to begin with. And then gradually, as you do more, kind of get the feeling for like, no, I like it. Yeah, no, I really like that. So let's look at what we managed to achieve today, shall we? So this is the whole spread, and as you can see, I took these pressed celandines as inspiration and then used the general shapes from these to inspire some sketches that I will be probably using for further work. It's like creating like a little visual library of the shapes that I can find in nature and preserve by pressing them. And then just to remind you of the pages that I did previously. So this has got a little bit of denting from the glue, but that's fine, it'll flatten out. These were other pencil sketches from these flowers. And then my original line drawings using grey fine liner to draw these sort of wood anemones, which are beautiful too. So this is like a nice little way to preserve a little bit of the forest for as long as possible. I only choose flowers responsibly, in the sense that I only take flowers where there's a lot of them there. I would never pick anything that is the only one that's there, or yeah, anything like that. I'm mindful of my impact on my environment. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me for this little sketchbook session. Who knows, maybe there'll be more in the future. And I hope you enjoy graphite sketching as much as I do. Let me know in the comments down below what you've been up to while you're watching this video, whether you've ever pressed flowers. If you have any hot tips, I would love to know, because I'm trying to get better. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone.